Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just getting my camera sorted and hopefully you can all see me. Just give it a couple of minutes for everybody to pile in. You can see that today I still haven't got my internet fixed, so that's still a bit of a problem, but I've got some new AirPods and I even had a fresh haircut for you all. So great to see you guys on a Sunday evening.
What's up, Steve?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I got this live streaming to YouTube right now, so we should be good to go and record this for anybody who misses it for sure.
Awesome. And the haircut is tribute to Tevin as well, because the first time I ever saw him on video chat some time ago, he had just had a fresh new haircut as well, straight out of the Marine Corps. So I went for something similar. We'll just give it 2 more minutes, and then we'll get rolling. How is everyone? Anyone? Have we got everybody unmuted?
It looks like everyone's muted that isn't a mod.
Alrighty. We got one person with a hand up. Well, let's kill 2 minutes then. B and O. How are you doing? I know he's gone back.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Very good. How are you doing?
Absolutely good. Couldn't be better.
Great, so what's the origin of the name?
Pardon?
What's the origin of the name? I hope you haven't got B.O.
It's the B and the no. It's the yin and the yang. It's the plus and the minus.
Nice.
And here I am.
Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Looks like a nice turnout so far.
Yeah, we're up to 20 already. That's good.
Like it.
Massive appreciation for taking the time on your busy Sunday afternoons and evenings. I know it's probably not the best time for a lot of areas in the US, but we're starting to try and push some of these out potentially a little bit later. Obviously, I'm on EU time, so it's kind of 11 o'clock at night here. But when it's not on a school night, we can kind of push things out a little bit later if that helps to accommodate people a little bit more in the run up to launch. Because we have only 3 weeks to go, 1 day less than 3 weeks to go. For those of you who are new and maybe haven't seen it in the chat, the official launch date we have locked in is Saturday, the 30th of April. So extremely excited about that. I'll be talking a little bit more around, plans for run up. But I guess with that, let's get started. My computer's just turned off, so it's difficult for me to see my notes. But anyway, I don't need them, so we can get rolling. So today, the agenda is a little bit in kind of 2 halves. The first half is around kind of technical and stuff that we've been working on. So just a few updates on some things there. And then the second half will really focus more on, the community and how we're looking to build the community, where you guys potentially can help. Then we'll open up for an AMA, and then I've got a little thing at the end, just as a little sneaky surprise for you all.
So just as
nice. Yeah, no, that's it. It's just to make sure you all stay until the end, So just to get started on a few things. So I think I mentioned at the last AMA that we've been working on our team locker, because I've mentioned all the way along that the maximum size bag that anyone can have ahead of launch is 1 trillion, because we're super careful and cautious and making sure that we have health in the project, and we don't want any megalodons out of the gate. But one thing we wanted to kind of be super transparent about is obviously there for all the team tokens, right? And for people who are busily, looking down rabbit holes on BSC, the same as I do on a daily basis, I just wanted to let everyone know that we now have our locker complete. Development is finished. And over the coming days, we will just be moving the team tokens into that locker. So for people who are looking on BSC, you'll see that the tokens have to come out of the main wallet, go to each of the core team members, and then we will lock them up in the locker, which is not vested, but locked fully for a 6-month period. So for anyone who looks around and sees that on the BSC, that is the movement that you will see over the coming days. We haven't said exactly when it's going to be yet, but it'll probably be this week once we get some time to just jump on the phone together and get that done. So that's just a little bit around transparency of what's happening with the team tokens and locking them up. The other part we mentioned was around the pink lock of how we're going to be locking up the staking and the burn tokens, just to make sure that there's no big open wallets that scares anyone off. But one thing we're looking potentially to do is, obviously, with the staking, we have the high APY staking that we're going to be looking to introduce, but we were thinking about potentially having a phased approach to that pink lock, because if we get everything off the ground seamlessly, we grow from strength to strength. As I mentioned before, we potentially can prepone that staking, and maybe what we can do is a community vote and do like a quick, seed a certain amount of tokens. It's a 1 month, a 3 month, an initial kind of high burst staking before we move more into the stability phase of the longer term staking. But that would be something we put out for community to vote on, what you guys really want. But we will be locking them up in the pink lock. But it might be phased release so that we actually can bring the staking to you sooner rather than later, if that's what you guys want. Another, just a brief update, everyone seems to be extremely excited on every kind of BUSD reward project of having a dashboard, for seeing, how much you've got, how many rewards you've got, when was the last time you got rewards. And I personally use BSC, just because I don't always like to connect to DApps as much as possible. But we are actually building one, and I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek that we've done the kind of the initial. I'm trying to do this on my phone, so apologies, guys. So we're looking to just look at the development part of this to kind of bring it to life. We're not guaranteeing yet whether it's going to be ready for launch. We're still working out the best way to do that. But we are looking to get it there so that people can have it, even though maybe some people don't use it. So that's just, you can see in the chat, you can see just the design of the simple model that allows you to not have to connect your wallet, but you can just check your wallet. It tells you how many tokens you've got. It tells you what they're worth. It tells you how many rewards you've got and the last date and time that you receive those tokens. So that's just a little bit around that dashboard. That's something that's going to be coming very soon, if not before launch. So just wanted to let you know that. Also, this week is my kind of busy week where I'm going to be looking to finalize the final draft of the white paper. So I've promised all of the guys by next Friday we'll have a final version that we can kind of review, tweak if need be, but then also look at how we can bring that into a final format, get that onto the website, and then also look at the other components there, because we've got a lot of other logo work that's been done by our great graphic designer that are going to be there that you can download and pull and stuff like that. Another bit of progress is that the merch store has been developed. Just under 200 items, I think, so far have kind of been pre-designed, but there's been some administrative challenges, so it's going to be a couple of days before we can get that out, but we'll announce that once we go live. That's all connected, and then we'll just get that integrated onto the website with the button just in the top right hand corner. Did I have one more thing? I didn't. So that was kind of where we stand, just with the the general technical stuff that we're working on in the run up to launch. As I mentioned, there's only 3 weeks to go, so things are getting tight. But I think the most important thing now to focus on is our community. How can we build it with even more like-minded people than we have today? And really get it primed, ready for launch. And I guess the first thing I wanted to do was kind of to congratulate and also deeply thank Mo for being our first winner of the Active Community Member Awards.
Great job.
I have to say, we appreciate you massively. There's a huge amount of content you're putting out there, and really, super energetic vibe. So massive thanks, Mo. If you haven't already, get your wallet address across the EP. Get that sorted and get yourself locked in for that pre-sale slot. So massive thanks again, Mo. There still are 2 other spots, so it's time for people who are interested in not having to go through, the usual competitions, sleep widgets, etc., for you to, step up your engagement. Because as I mentioned, we are watching, and we only had to watch for kind of 4 or 5 days before we realised that Mo was really, up in the game. So 2 more spots still to come. So do your thing and get yourself a pre-sale spot. The next part was about the suite widget. At the moment, we have around 66. Well, actually, not around. We have 66 entrants so far. So for any of the new joiners who haven't seen that in the pin posts, I think that either Tevin or Dravo brought it forward into the pins today. So it's a little bit fresher for you to be able to see. But if you haven't done it already and want to get in there, I advise you to do it. We've still got a little bit of time left, but at the moment, everybody who's entered so far has got just under a 3-to-1 chance of winning one of those pre-sale slots. So anyone who hasn't done it yet, jump in there, get that filled in, and start spreading the word. Another thing that we are working on that's going to be coming soon is we're not going to disclose where yet. So there's going to be maybe a little bit of a competition or a test for the first person to find these. But we will be launching banners in the coming days as the start of our kind of build-up for launch. So I've just posted a couple of them in the chat, just so you can see them, kind of what to look out for. But like I say, we're not going to tell you where they are yet, because there's an opportunity there to kind of do a competition potentially and find out for the first person who manages to find them. Just one thing, we've been looking at many different places to potentially put them. This will be the first, but it's really just, this gradual build-up that we're talking about over the next 2 or 3 weeks to get some more eyes on the project, to make sure that we're really primed, ready to go for launch week. Also this week, we're looking to see if we can have more regular AMAs. So we're looking to kind of, pimp ourselves out a bit to other call groups and to other tokens, but looking to really bring them into our chat rather than us go to their chat like we did for Dive Wallet. Because I think if we bring them in, you predominantly get more people who actually come and join our Telegram. So what we're really looking to do in the next 2 or 3 weeks is to build the numbers. So now's the time, us as a community to kind of tell everyone what's going on. If you believe in the project and you like what we're doing, invite your buddies in. I think really now what we need to do is to get into that growth spur and build these numbers up towards 1,000 and beyond as soon as we can. So really, beyond the technical stuff, which is very much under control, it's about how do we build this so that, there's a lot of eyes and ears on it at launch, and we get some huge buy pressure right out of the gate. So that's just a little bit of kind of things that, have been going down, things we're working on. But the main thing is, if we don't get the community to where we need it, we're not going to get the buy pressure we want and the excitement. So I think it's down to all of us as well, beyond what the team are doing, to kind of drum up that excitement and get some people in. I know a lot of you are already doing a huge amount. I'm seeing lots and lots of names coming in on a daily basis. But what we'll also be doing is potentially running some competitions that are probably going to be a bit difficult to manage as far as like admin-wise. How do we count whose buddies have been bought in by who? But I think that's also a way to potentially bring other people in. So with that, that's my usual kind of monotone for a few minutes. Just going to pause now and open up for any questions or anything the core team want to say. Check everyone's unmuted. Is there any way we can just unmute everybody so we don't have to? Sorry, you probably all can tell by now I'm not the best guru on Telegram, to be honest, but I'm trying to learn as fast as I can. Do any of you guys, Mike, anyone, do you see anyone trying to talk?
I don't see anybody, but I will give an update. I'm definitely excited. You guys are going to love this merch store. We have 180 items, all different colors, all different logos on each item. So it's going to be massive. But I'm having a battle with Etsy right now. And for as big of a company as Etsy is, you would think that they'd be like more transparent for having like a customer service department that you could like really contact. They have like a crappy help desk email that takes like 7 days to get back to you. So as big as they are, you would think that they would have like a bigger process, set up. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, but I have to say, I'm super looking forward to them.
Oh, it's gonna be nice.
And getting myself submerged. That I think I'm going to be on there.
Yeah, we got a
breaking
lot of
the
great
internet when they
items.
first come. You got the oven gloves, right? I wanted those oven gloves.
Yes, there are oven mitts.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try something different, and then hopefully this brings us into a more vibrant Q&A session. And I'm going to keep scrolling to see if anyone's putting their hands up. I think now everybody's unmuted, so that's perfect. So now is, for a little bit of fun. So this is going to test you out. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving away one pre-sale spot for the first person who will get up and sing a cappella. Go.
A cappella.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified.
Who's that?
Thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I learned how to get along, and saw you back from outer space. Yeah.
Awesome,
Man,
Chef.
I have to take. I've got to take my hat off to that. Who was that? I didn't even see who it was.
I think it was African Whale.
That's the B and the No. That's me.
It was you.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Well, I take my hat.
That's my favorite song. I love that.
Well, I have to say, you're the one who spoke at the beginning, right?
Yeah, the B and O.
Ah, okay. Well, 10 out of 10 and huge kudos for doing that. I have to say that I think I told the tale of me having to sing karaoke once for one of my whitelist spots, and I ended up getting rugged. So that's obviously not going to happen here, but that just, I plucked up the courage to do it myself once. And I know it's not easy. So
I was hoping to get like a beatbox behind, but there was nobody else doing anything.
I was doing it.
Just
I was trying to give you a beat in the background.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
I was.
So now that was. I saw tip of the iceberg was just about to speak as well, so I didn't know. I could hear you just about to go, but I think he just beat you to the punch.
Yeah, you said
the other guy was faster than me, so.
Next week we'll do another one.
I'll try to get that one.
So with that, now that's broken the ice a bit. Massive thanks there, B&O, for breaking the ice. Does anyone now have any questions? Now the mood's a bit lighter. Come on, you're never all this quiet. Let's be honest. What we need to do is maybe I can do a quiz. That will get you all going. I've seen how crazy you've all been going in the chat on the quizzes.
The quiz is great, man. It just takes over the chat.
Well done, B&O. Hey, Steve, I'm seeing a bunch of new people in here. Why don't we just give them a little lowdown on what the token is, how we're going to be launching and whatnot, because we got a bunch of new people. So.
No, it's a really good point. And maybe what I do just for now we've got kind of more, we're up to kind of 30 people. Maybe that makes sense as just a standard opener. I don't want to kind of bore everyone to tears week after week, but I think it probably makes sense to do that. So just a little bit of, kind of the history, who we are, what we're doing, and why we're trying to be different. So the Wanchor token is basically, it is a low tax reward token. That is 5% on buys and sells and rewards 3% in BUSD. And the reason that when we were talking about putting the project together, one of the biggest hurdles is we're looking to do is kind of remove that burden of the high tax so that really we can have a tradable token ultimately. So the one thing we've been saying is we obviously don't want everyone to, have a cataclysmic dump at launch for the people who've got pre-sales, but this is a token to be traded. So, don't diamond hand it to death, take some profits, jump back in. It's a token to be traded. And I think that's one way that we kind of actively encourage that, because, if the price goes up 20% in a day and down 20 and up 30, in the other reflection tokens, you can't get a quick profit from that. But here you can, you could pick up 10, 20%, easily. So we're really encouraging it to be traded. And it's not something that's, particularly common on the BSC at the moment, but that's what we're looking to try and do.
Yeah, and that's...
Go, Mike, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes us different. The whole rage with reflection tokens, since Safe Moon, Evergrow, they have those 17, 18, 20% taxes to where, you have to pull a 40% profit before, you're even in profit and breaking even. So, this is definitely a little bit different of a token in that aspect. It's only 10% for in and out. I mean, it's 5% each way. So, it's definitely encouraging to, be a tradable token, which is definitely a breath of fresh air for the reflection tokens. And by keeping the volume up and able to be traded like that, we're making nice reflections off of that too, even at 3%.
Completely. And that's where we were talking about it last night, right? Which is, you could look at a token with 15, 20% tax that's got, 30K trading volume where it's kind of in the gutter at the moment, right? We've only got to hit, 100, 150, and you're getting the same rewards as one of those other tokens that has, rewards that are 3 times as high, So I think that with, the solid price floor we're going to have, but encouraging trading, I think it's going to be healthy, and that's really what we want to do, is for it to be a place where we can all, jump in and out, make a bit, increase our positions, but, have an active chart, because, what we don't want to do is launch and then it goes up to a high, there's a bit of a dump, and then it just stays there for like forever until everything kicks off. We want people to trade this, and bring that volume in. So that's the first thing. Low tax token to encourage trading and more consistent volume. The other thing is just a little bit around our launch, and it's probably the least stealthy launch that you probably have ever seen. We're looking to try and do something different, and we have gone away from the typical, pre-sale route via Pink Sale or via any other launch pad. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first of which is we didn't like the idea of having to give away a relatively significant share of the tokens and have to buy them back or have the risk of Pink Sale dumping them on us. So that was one thing. We didn't think that we had to use Pink Sale. We could have done and probably raised 5 to 10 times more than we are going to raise through private and pre-sale. But, I haven't had a good launch of Pink Sale for a long time, and it's a consistent challenge just because there's so many people who are there for the kind of the pump and dump, 20%, 30% profit mentality. So that's not what we wanted. And for those of you who've read the website, you'll see, we are a token by the people for the people. So there's a lot of lessons learned from us being, people buying into projects and knowing people and having different partnerships and community members around. So we didn't feel that we had to do that. And that's why I think now we've grown to, how many have we got now? We must have around just under 300, 250 people, I think maybe.
267. 267 as of 267. Right now.
And you think that's just been done purely through word of mouth, and I think we've got not sure what happened there, guys, but Telegram just threw us all out.
Did Telegram just rug us?
Yeah, just got rugged by Telegram.
We just got rugged by Telegram.
Apologies for that, everyone.
And something else that is really nice, and it's an overlooked thing about Pink Sale, and it catches a couple people with every token each time, is the fact that these bots create these fake Telegram groups that mimic what the Pink Sale website looks like. And almost every single launch, you're getting people sending money to fake contracts, thinking that they're sending it, to the pink sale. For it, and it's getting people, and I hate when I hear that, and it almost got me once. And I look out for it, and it almost got me once because I was FOMOing of missing my pre-sale spot. And by doing this launch the way that we're doing it, it completely takes that out of the equation because people know that we're not going through pink sale. So if you see a fake link with pink sale with two eyes on it or pink sale with PYNK, you know it's bullshit because we're not launching on pink sale, so you don't have to fall for it. But it seems like it gets people every single launch. I know every time that there's a launch of a token I'm interested in, I get 3 or 4 different, Telegram groups that are just fake bot groups with it. And I absolutely hate that.
No, me too. And I have to say, I see so much of it, and I know people who've had, issues like that and be scammed. Fortunately, I'm going to touch wood. I haven't been scammed in crypto yet. But I did get scammed last week. I bought a tractor lawnmower online and I got scammed. So I'm now currently trying to recover my money. So that brought back a nasty memory of scammers. So first time ever I've been scammed, but they got me for a decent amount of money, which is a bit of a...
What was it? What was it? A fake?
Anyway,
what was it? A fake site for the dealer or something?
Yeah, I mean, it looked seriously legit. And I was like, "Ooh, this one's like 25% cheaper than the others." But in life, you always get what you pay for.
Unreal.
And I got scammed. Anyway, moving on. So, but you raised a really good point, and I think that beyond the token risk, of not being able to buy them back and us having to shell out a huge amount to kind of get the tokens back to save the chart. I also see that, it doesn't matter how many people get into pre-sales on pink sale. It seems there's always people who struggle to claim at launch. And it's always, when launch, when claim, when claim, when claim. And, we want everything to be fair, So the whole reason that we're doing a fixed cap on the maximum anyone can have is so that it's a level playing field. And in addition to that, all of the airdrops for private and pre-sale will be done before launch. So nobody's going to risk missing any of those reflections from the initial pump or hype, because everything is done up front. And literally all we have to do is seed the liquidity, smash a few bots out of the way, and then fire it up, and it's ready to go. So everything's a lot more seamless and a lot more controlled, because I know that, I think it was... APEC was saying the other day on the Dive Wallet chat that, a lot of people make the mistake of doing a private sale before the pre-sale. They airdrop the private sale before the pre-sale is completed, and then they have a problem finalizing the pool. So all of that's out of the way. Everything is very much under control and very well documented around who's got private and pre-sale spots. Every airdrop, I think, is already done, apart from potentially B&O, who just won that pre-sale spot. So actually, while I'm saying that, B&O, if you could message me or message Educated Penis, we can get that pre-sale spot sorted out for you. 1 trillion tokens for 0.25 BNB. Just because I told you won, but I didn't tell you what you had to do after winning. So great for reminding myself there. Yeah. So
sure. Thanks very much. Yeah.
No worries. No, I appreciate you jumping up and singing such a great a cappella. So there was the getting away from pink sale, and actually, us being able to control the destiny out of the gate, not having any risk about having to buy back tokens. There was the low tax token. And also in addition, we haven't talked upon our utility. So as I mentioned, it's not really per se a utility, but we're going to be looking at having staking, obviously, and a number of different types of staking options. So there will be a longer term kind of option, but we're looking at, potentially having a little, a fun one to start with for a month or 3 months, so that brings in a high yield in the meantime before we launch something in Q3, which we were talking about more before. But the real utility is a little bit different, and you could kind of say it's a bit like, Fiverr for the crypto space. So for anyone who's launched a token or looked to try and, get some publicity from a token, it's very, very difficult to find, number one, a credible, content creator, or a credible developer. I have to say, that for me, Brew Labs and the folks there, Mav and his guys, are, the gold standard in my opinion. But before kind of Brew Labs came along, it was difficult to find devs who, could trust, right, in reality. So what we're looking to try and do is to build a matching service where, content creators and token owners can kind of promote themselves, and we will do a pre-vetted matching service to make sure that everybody gets the quality, the product and, the service that they deserve. Because I'm sure, you see how many of these tokens go and pay the likes of Travlad or Caesar or Venom or something else, that they cost a huge amount of money. And unless you just want to get a quick 2x and then have it go down 3x, I don't really feel that you get what you pay for, So we're looking, and I think I mentioned at the last AMA, we had a nomination and from one of our guys in one of our other chats around a graphic designer, a web developer. And, I've never met the guy, but got introduced. And I have to say that I would recommend him to anyone, really, any project, and I'm sure if Michael's in the chat, a big shout out to Michael, who does all of our work for us there. But I have to say the quality, the service, the speed, just second to none. And we're looking at how can we help projects and content creators, have that matching service that they can trust and that they get what they pay for. Not like my lawnmower. And I don't know if you want to add any more, Mike, as being a content creator yourself, who probably knows a lot more about it than I do.
Yeah, I'll tell you, from having a lot of interactions with a lot of different tokens, I kind of see it from both sides. And the one thing that tokens always tell me, and all the devs and team leaders are, it's hard for us to find reliable people within our budget, because obviously there's big projects out there that, have large budgets that can afford, the content creators with, 50,000, 100,000 subs. But for every one of them, there's 1,000 smaller tokens like us that are just launching that, maybe don't have the benefit of having a content creator on the team. So, those type of people, they have to reach out to, different creators and graphic designers. And, they really don't know where to start. So it's a big time suck for them, honestly, is what they tell me. It's hard to find somebody, and then, you have conversations with them and it turns out they're way out of your budget. So by creating a platform that, you can shop according to what your needs are and what your budget is, it's 100% going to benefit tokens. And then on the flip side, you have all the great graphic designers and web developers out there that do just fantastic work, but, people really only maybe hear about them by word of mouth. So, this kind of gives them a platform that they can kind of show off their work and, have a profile of, what they do, what their fees are for it, and, kind of just go from there, and that can keep them at work. So it really benefits both sides. So that's what we're actively working on right now. Tentatively, we have it scheduled for Q4, but, obviously we would rather under promise and over deliver. So, we'll just leave it at that right there. But we're definitely working hard on doing this because it's definitely a bridge that needs to be built in the crypto community to kind of help everybody out to, be able to find each other and be able to get, consistent work and good representation.
100%. And you're not going to hear us using the words imminent, because I think you probably all have heard that too much in the space and get tired of people telling you something's coming when it's not coming. But I hope that we can prove, even as we maybe have so far, right, that we're getting the white paper out before launch, we're getting the launch pad. Everything we're trying to do is, systematic and as fast and reliable as possible. So, even when we talk about the staking, we could bring the staking in, 2 days after the launch if we wanted to. But what we want to do is build this out, organically, keep that excitement there. And as Mike said, we're looking at how we can potentially do the prepone these things, but we don't want to make any promises that we can't keep. So if we can, we will. But the most important thing is to get a a reliable and quality product out to you and to the world, because we're looking to first push this through the crypto sphere, but it can be used anywhere, and we're looking to expand beyond the crypto arena so that can be volume that we can bring in. We're looking through and working out, you'll see it in the white paper, of course, but looking at various different models of how we can utilize, subscriptions and the matching service, and then potentially having to use, our token, et cetera, on how can we bring in as much consistent volume as we can. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's really the main things on the rewards, the tax, why we're doing stealth on steroids, what's coming with the utility, the merch store, the secret banners that you're going to have to go and look for that will be coming in the next few days. And then really it's about how we as a community and everything else we can push and get our name out there in preparation for launch week. And I just want to give another massive shout out to Yo Crypto, who is working with Mike and on our Twitter and kind of a lot of other social media engagement, and doing an amazing job, buddy. Hugely appreciate.
Yeah, great job, man. We appreciate you so much. You're doing just a fantastic job. Also, guys, his name's Yo Crypto. He's got an awesome YouTube channel as well. So take a look in our chat for some of his videos that he has done for us already, and make sure you like and subscribe him, because he's definitely worth it. He does it for us and a few other projects. So he does some great work.
No, 100%.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No, you're doing an awesome job, buddy. Really hugely appreciate it. And I always say I'm kind of somebody, I get my head down into something and I give it my 1,000,000% focus. So I have to say that you guys, keeping me on my toes on all components is hugely appreciated, because my focus at the moment is to get that white paper done while the other guys focus on other stuff. But I think really the main thing we all need to do together now is let's push this community as far as we can get it. We don't want to just, bring in loads and thousands of bots or a load of Muppets, but, we all know people who I think, would appreciate, a team, a community, transparency, and something that's different. So like I say, it's kind of a plea to everyone to kind of do everything they can to help us build this up. And like I say, we're going to be progressing this building up. We're going to have hopefully Mike's doing some matchmaking on getting some AMAs with some other tokens and some other teams.
I actually just confirmed while we were doing this AMA, we're going to have an AMA on Tuesday with BUSD Buffet.
Awesome. That's cool. And like I say, I'm EU based. I know a lot of you guys are in the US, but I'm on vacation this week as well, so I can burn the midnight oil a bit. So we can maybe get them at later my time and a much better time for you guys to be able to dial in, kind of after you've logged off work or whatever it may be. So no, massive thanks for that, Mike. I think that really it's about getting the name out there, showing who we are, what we're doing, and we're trying to, do everything right that so many other projects do wrong, and like I say, with that started with, building the community organically, capping the amount of tokens that people can have. We've got people who we want to take profits, as we said, but it's about holding down that price floor as well, because for those of you who are new and haven't seen, we're obviously a super low cap token. Considering what we're bringing to the table in preparation for launch. So we're going to be launching, if BNB kind of stays where it's in, I'd say just a fraction over $40,000. And you guys know that can very quickly multiply. So super excited about the launch, but we really need to get the community and the excitement where it needs to be to make sure it's an absolute boomer.
So we're going to challenge everybody to a new Member Monday. So everybody try to find one or two at least, friends that you have from other groups that you would think that would be interested in this project and get into reflection projects, similar to you, and invite them to the group. And I think we can definitely grow this out if we all just invite a couple people. So that's going to be my challenge for all you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. No, I think it's a super good idea, because I think that, to build it up, we want to get in excess of 1,000, but good people, who we can have a bit of fun with as well. But I think that you only have to drag one or two of your buddies in, and we're there. So I think that's where we're going to start to turn up the heat on the exposure and the marketing over the coming weeks. But we're also going to look to see how we can really intensify on the build up to launch week. So we're going to look at how we can keep that as engaging as possible. I'm hoping I can do a little bit better in the quizzes in the meantime. I think I've got one question right so far. And Pablo and you other guys are far more intelligent at the general knowledge than I am. But no, I think it's about how do we kind of keep that momentum, because before even just, I know the quizzes can overtake the chat, but before that, we'd have a couple of hours during the day where it was a little bit slow, and how do we keep that up? And I think it's, when everyone's got 2 minutes, say hi, chat a bit, but bring people in, because the more people we get, the more active it gets and the more exciting it's going to be for launch. All right. Any questions or anything anyone wants to just talk about? I've still got some time. We can talk about whatever you like, as long as it doesn't involve lawnmowers.
Hi, Steve.
Drive, Werner.
Hi, how are you?
Very good, buddy. How you doing?
Ready for bed.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you got time of day. The merch that we're doing, are we planning on giving any of that away as part of our giveaways? And
that's a good question, actually. Michael, over to you. I'm sure we could.
That's a good way of getting it out there, isn't it?
I think it's a good idea. I'm just thinking from a timing perspective. I don't know. I guess it depends, like Mike, if we can get the account unlocked to be able to order stuff. But maybe we can. We buy a few items and do a competition.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I'm hoping I hear back from Etsy tomorrow. I mean, it's ready to roll. I paid for the listings and everything, and I think what happened was I didn't have it on auto billing when I created the account and the listings, and they charge you 20 cents a listing. And so it created a negative balance, and that suspended the store. And then when I put the card in on auto bill, it charged the card, but it just hasn't taken it off of suspension yet. So I got to try to get a hold of somebody tomorrow, and we should be good to go this week, and we could definitely do something.
No, super good suggestion. But I have to say, we're not going to give away any oven gloves until I've secured my pair, though.
No. You get first. You get first crack at them for sure. And circling back to the game night and the games, I think it's definitely fun for the community. It can definitely overtake the chat. What I'm maybe thinking is maybe we could either do just one night a week, or we could just dedicate like a certain time of the day where it's typically slow, and just maybe have like a 2-hour window for it, like 3 to 5 p.m. or something, and just have like the game open every day at that time, just so we can kind of keep it moving, keep some fun during maybe slower times of the day.
No, definitely. And I think this is just the beginning of our bit of fun and games and stuff like that. But no, I have to say it's I haven't been participating too much because I have to say I'm not very good at it, because you guys are far quicker than I am. But I did sneak in when only a couple of people were participating earlier and got one right. So I was like, yes. So at least it's not a 0 from now on.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you guys that we've got to control the game and not let the game control the room.
I'd say you created a monster. That's what you did.
I know.
But no, it's cool. It's really cool. Everyone was loving it. So it's not a criticism at all. I think that we just pick a time slot where, as we, even like with people coming, let's say we're inviting people in tomorrow, and it's Bring Your Buddy Mondays, just to make sure that we time things so people don't walk in and there's, it's just spam everywhere, because we all know what it is, but maybe new people don't. So I think as long as we set it for a certain time of the day, then everybody knows about it, don't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
but also we can
I was going to
Sorry,
say
Mike,
I
go for
can
it.
confirm our dual AMA with BUSD buffet is going to be Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I tried not to kill you too late. We were going to do 7, but I know that's like 1 in the morning for you. So we tried to keep it a
That's okay.
little bit earlier for you, Steve.
And like I said, we can stretch it even. We can go out half an hour or an hour. That's
Yeah,
all good for me. Like
I
I
told
say,
him we'll
when I
probably keep it about a half hour. I'll moderate it like
that's cool.
usual. So yeah, that'll be good. So keep an eye out for the graphic we're going to make for that, and that'll be fun to have those guys in the room.
Looking forward to it. Any other comments, thoughts, or questions? I'm just going to see if anyone's got a hand up.
Everybody's quiet tonight.
Very quiet. This isn't natural. I have to say, I recognise a lot of names in here, and they're not normally quiet. I can guarantee you that.
This is a question that I've had asked of me, not through this chat, but I've had a direct message question from somebody I know, just asking about the marketing strategy to help create that hype and that buy pressure. Is there anything that you want to throw out there that you're planning at the moment, or do you want to wait a bit longer before you sort of say what you're going to do?
Well, no, I can take some of that. Right now, like we had mentioned earlier, we're looking to number one, our number one thing we're looking to do right now is increase the footprint of our group. We have a lot of strong members in the group right now that are going to be core investors, but we definitely need to grow the numbers. So what we're planning to do this week, our focus is going to be running a bunch of AMAs with different tokens in our room so that we can bring people from like for example BUSD Buffet. They have a pretty nice group of people, and hopefully they will join in for the AMAs and also become members in our group and get interested in it. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing this week. We have something that we are working on that we can't really talk about too much. But then we also, oh my God, my fire alarm's going off.
Are you cooking again, Mike?
Nothing's burning. Oh shit, there is a fire. Okay. All right, I'll be back. This is a recurring theme.
No worries. And let me try and continue. And for those of you who haven't joined every single week, I think the first time I ever spoke to Mike on VC, he burnt burgers and set off the fire alarm. Last week during the AMA, he boiled some beans dry and set the alarm off again. So this is 3 in a row that he has another fire. So I hope everything's okay. But yeah, quite a reoccurring theme. I guess. So we mentioned. So he was talking about AMAs. That's it. We're going to try and intensify that this week and beyond. I think we're going to up our game. I saw you unmute there for a second, Yo-Yo Crypto. I know you're probably up more au fait with the detailed marketing plan. But there's going to be a lot more social media push, a lot more push towards our Discord as well. And as I mentioned, the first thing is going to be the banners that are coming this week. But that's just a start, and really it's looking to have like an incremental scaled up build up for that marketing. And obviously with Yo Crypto and Dirty Mike having their own YouTube channels, there's a lot we can do. And I think that we can really, excel in the run up for launch with a different marketing approach than probably many would do. I'm not sure we've got any plans to do any kind of any shilling or anything like that organised yet. But like I say, nothing's off the table. We're going to come up with a more robust plan, but I know Mike's already got it more than covered. So Mike, hopefully your apartment isn't burning down.
No, it was just my burner this time. It just created a fire underneath of it. I need a new stove, and I'm in an apartment, and it's just, oh my God. I swear it's a mess. I got corn on the cob on the and boiling right now. But okay, so back to that. We actually do have one call group that is going to be shilling us the week of launch as well. And they have over 11,000 members in their Telegram group and over 50,000 Twitter followers. So we got that secured for sure. So we are going to be looking at some other options as well. We have the one thing that we can't really announce until it actually launches, but we are going to have some advertisements on an upcoming platform as well. So can't quite announce that yet, but it's a little teaser. But yeah, we're definitely working on a lot of big things, and we got a nice marketing squad that we are putting together right now with Yo Crypto Rock. He's been a rock for us as well, and we're just going to keep pumping out the videos, pumping out the tweets, and definitely need to grow out this group as much as we can. So that's going to be our focus for this week for sure.
100%. And like I say, anything you guys can do to help. We're all in this together. So we're obviously going to be having a very intentional big push that's going to grow incrementally to launch with a lot of stuff already lined up. But anything you can do, is hugely appreciated. Because I think getting it, more people in, more excitement, more pressure, and it just will allow us to grow from strength to strength and beyond. So I think really the main focus, I have to say, we were talking about all this last night with Tevin and EP and the other folks, is I think everything in preparation for launch from the technical perspective, it's well under control. It's now about how do we drive this community to the levels that we want. And that's the main thing. All right. Any other comments or questions?
I think we're going to make this a daily part of our AMAs. Every time we have one, I'll have some sort of kitchen catastrophe. You guys can tune in to find out what it's going to be. Could be something different every time. You never know.
Well, hopefully, if we get some later AMAs, hopefully you would have at least been able to eat before you have to, fire up YouTube. Maybe.
Yes.
So maybe I'm the problem.
No, you're not you're not the problem. My stove is the problem.
Cool. Well, let's last call for anyone who wants to ask a question or just say anything. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Well, I have to say a massive thanks for you all taking the time out on your lovely Sunday afternoons. We appreciate you more than you would ever know. Like I say, as we're going to intensify, the amount of AMAs and stuff this week, and for our regular AMAs, I will kind of flip it back that rather than giving ad hoc updates, be conscious that there's a lot of people who haven't been here at every single one. So we'll just start with a brief rundown of who we are, what we're doing, why we're different, and then we'll jump into kind of the regular agenda updates that I give as we walk through. But as always, hugely appreciate you guys. This is just the beginning, and the focus now is let's build this into an absolute monster in preparation for launch. I appreciate you all, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.